Well, good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, February the 10th, at 9:08 a.m. Central Standard Time. Sitting here and going through the breaking news alerts that I have here, and I'm telling you, this world is really something. I mean, 12 minutes ago, it reports in Pakistan that 10 have been killed and 17 wounded in a gas tanker crash. 5 minutes ago, Al Sharpton meets with the Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders at Sylvia's restaurant in Harlem, New York. Austin, Texas, family of David Joseph, unarmed teen shot by Austin, Texas officer, calls for investigation. It says, we are struggling to understand how our child was stolen from us by the police. I mean, things are just out of control. Justice Department says Ferguson, Missouri City Council's vote to add provisions to police and reform deal creates an unnecessary delay in the essential work to bring us constitutional policing to the city and marks an unfortunate outcome of concerned community members and Ferguson police officers. I mean, something needs to be done. I'm not sitting here saying that it doesn't, but adding more constitutional provisions is just isn't it. I mean, changing our constitution doesn't work. Nobody has that authority. That's our part of our founding documents. And that's one of the things that the people in Oregon were fighting for, or over. Like little Lavoy Finicum. I shared a video a few days ago of his final ride and the massive amount of people that came to show their respects, because this guy was shot January the 26th during a quote unquote traffic stop. I watched the whole FBI video, and it didn't appear to me to be a traffic stop. I mean, granted, if they want to classify somebody riding down the road and being ambushed and set up a traffic stop, then I guess with the way that this country, this country is doing, I guess it would be classified as a traffic stop. But a traffic stop, truthfully, is, when someone is observed by a police officer breaking the laws of the road. In other words, speeding, reckless driving, things like that. They weren't doing this. And what I saw in the FBI video that was released was the fact that these two vehicles was traveling down Highway 395, and on one of the side roads there were multiple unmarked black vehicles sitting and waiting. That, to me, classifies entrapment, because they knew that they were on their way to a meeting with the local sheriff and some FBI agents in John Day, Oregon, and they decided that day of all days to set up this little ambush. Do I agree with the occupation of the Federal Reserve? No, I don't. Under no circumstances. Because what these ranchers are fighting against is the fact that the government and the BLM is coming in and taking the land from the ranchers that outright belong to the ranchers, just because it has minerals and so forth that our government wants access to. So when these people decided to take over the refuge, in my opinion, that made them no different than the BLM, which is taking ranchers' lands. I think there was a better way to go about doing what, or bringing awareness to their cause. I mean, I back their cause 100%, because this is nothing but blatant overreach of our government. But to occupy land that does not belong to you is a crime. You know, I mean, if someone was to come in here and take up in my house, I would view that as hostile. You know, and I would do everything in my power to protect my land, my home, my family. But I don't think that it should have been a situation where he was shot and killed. Like I said, I saw the video. When he got out of the truck, he had his hands up. Granted, I'm not sitting here saying he did not lower his hands, because he did. Can I say 100% that he was reaching for his gun? No. Can I say that it appeared to me from the video taken by aircraft, which has no audio, that he could possibly have been? Yes. You know, I've heard people say that, well, he was right-handed. He was reaching towards his left side. He didn't have his gun in his holster on his hip. That was, you know, that was reported by eyewitnesses, that he had left his gun there at the refuge, which was a 6-shooter, you know. But is it possible that he did have one in a shoulder holster, or, for lack of a better place, in a pocket? I personally would not have it in a pocket inside my coat. I would have it in a holster inside my coat or under my coat. And yes, my shoulder holster would be on my left side, because I am right-handed, just like little boy Finicum. And I would reach to my left side to retrieve my weapon from my shoulder holster. That way I have it. I mean, common sense. You're right-handed. That way when you reach and you grab it, you have it in your right hand in a position that is ready to bring up and fire. Do I think that's what he was attempting to do? I don't think so, because if he had, I don't think he would have gotten out of the vehicle with his hands up. That to me speaks volumes. Further into the video, you'll see where this one agent, whether it be an Oregon State Police, FBI, whatever, they're dressed in tactical gear, which I've heard people say our police look like our military. This is tactical gear. Of course they are. Of course they have on bulletproof vests. Our street cops have on bulletproof vests anymore. And if I was married to a police officer or related to a police officer that was working the streets, I would expect them to wear the bulletproof vest, because I expect for them to come home the police officers are someone's family just as well as these perpetrators are. But all I hear is, oh, he was shot by police. Don't give the police a reason, and the majority of the times you won't be shot. And as I said, the majority of the times, because not all police shootings have been proven to be justified. You know, this with Lavoy Finicum, I think is 100% overkill. Because in my opinion, once the suspect is on the ground, they are no longer presenting a threat. And that is the only time that the police are supposed to be firing at a person, is when they are presenting an imminent threat to that officer's safety or that of others. We really need to get this under control, because with the way that we're standing right now, we're going to be a 100% police state in this country, and that is not, let me repeat, not what we need. And it is not what our founding fathers had in mind for us. As it's been proven, you know, we have some hothead police officers, and when you give a hothead a weapon, more times than not, that even goes even more to their head and gives them a sense of empowerment and, oh, I'm better than the next person just because I have a gun and a badge. But what a lot of these officers fail to realize is they bleed just as well as we do. Now, I am in no way calling for anyone to harm a police officer. You know, that crime right there, if someone shoots a police officer or harms a police officer in any way, should be one of the crimes that is punished at the highest possible level that it could be punished at. As it used to be. As it used to be. I'm gonna try and see if maybe I can I don't know, show the video. I'm new to this, so give me a minute. I wonder why my live feed isn't really showing. That's not it. Alright, let's see here. YouTube. Alright, this says here it's the complete unedited video of joint FBI and OSP operation on 1/26/2016. So I can point some things out to you. See right here, these lines of cars up the road just a bit. That's the vehicle sitting and waiting for LaFoy Finnegan, Ammon Bundy, and all the rest of them. So, you know, I don't know. It's just, like I said, I agree with their cause. I agree with why they were upset with the government. I agree with all of that, but I don't agree with the actual occupation of federal land. You know, do I think that our federal government owns more land than what they should and what is given them the authority to own in the Constitution? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And they very well need to fight for their rights and the right to graze cattle and, you know, and our government needs to quit. You know, they just need to stop creating agency after agency after agency. You know, and the only reason this has been done is to justify taking more of the people's money. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous for us to have to pay, one, the taxes that we pay. I mean, not only it taxed every paycheck, and they take money from that, we have to pay property taxes on everything that we own. Even if it isn't property within that particular city, it's a vehicle. You know, property taxes on, you know, land, you know, that's kind of sort of justifiable because that is property that's within that city, that state. But a vehicle, why is it taxed every year? Why? If there's going to be a tax, there needs to be a tax on everybody. You can't signal certain people out or certain classes of people out. Like, not everybody owns a vehicle. They don't own a vehicle, they have to pay property taxes. Not everyone owns their home. There's a lot of people that rent their home. The ones that are renting, don't have to pay property taxes. They're just paying rent. The homeowner has to pay the property taxes. If there's going to be a tax, it needs to be a tax to where it can be attached to everybody, even if they're on welfare. And this welfare mess is a total different topic that I will save for another day. Because that particular word alone makes my blood boil. Because I am really sick and tired of working. God only knows how many hours, my husband and myself, to be able to pay for the things that we want, the things that we need, and provide for our family. But yet you've got thousands upon thousands of people sitting around every day watching TV and doing nothing, but yet they have a home and they have a refrigerator and a pantry full of food, and they have money in their pocket, and they're not hurting for nothing. And folks, I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what our government wants. But the problem is, if everybody is sitting around on welfare, then where's all that money going to come from? That's why you hear a lot of these politicians talking about, oh, we got to take from the rich and give to the poor. No, you tell the poor to get off their sorry, lazy asses and get a job and go to work and provide for yourself. If you don't work, you don't eat. So, I guess it looks like we're going to be having some flurries today. And a few more in a couple more days. I don't know, I just wish all of this crazy shit would stop. I'm gonna, for later whenever I go live, I'm gonna, again for my next broadcast, I'm gonna get some other information and everything together for you, because there's a lot that I want to share. You know, it's just a lot going on. And one short segment just quite isn't enough. I'm new to this, and I'm trying to figure all of this out. This is actually my first live broadcast that I've done since I've set my channel up. So, if anybody is out there listening, I really do apologize, because I know this is kind of scattered and all over the place, but there is a lot of issues that are facing our country that we do need to address, not only as a country, but individual cities and individual states, and just the people that live amongst us, our neighbors. We should care what happens to them, because, like I tell my kids, the bad don't stay in the bad areas; they go to the good areas. But I wanted to get this working and um, see how it works and everything, and then I'm going to be doing another broadcast later, and maybe even go live as well instead of just audio. So give me a couple hours, and I'll be back in a couple hours, and I'll have a good list of topics to talk to you. So thanks for listening. See you in a bye.